Hello and welcome everybody to our first radio session, Happy Life Talk. Here is Melanie Grammar.
And Ahmed Elkilany.
Hello Melanie, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you doing? I'm very
I'm doing
excited to be here actually.
I'm doing great. Yeah, of course I'm very excited to be in our first radio session together. So Melanie, tell our audience something about you.
Well, I'm an online psychologist, so people would consult me about their personal life issues, and we have online therapy over Skype or chat. And now we're having this radio program, and I think it's a great opportunity to make this information available for a bigger audience and hopefully having some positive influence in people's lives.
Yeah, that would be great and make them have a happy, healthy life, right?
Yes, if possible. Well, Ahmed, let us know something about you.
Well, I'm a software engineer and I've always dreamed to be a co-host in a radio station and here fulfilling my dream with you. So let's hope it'll be a good success and we'll be helping a lot of people around the globe. So Melanie, would you like to reveal our tonight's topic?
Definitely. Well, I think the relationship is a topic that is interesting for a lot of people and everybody can relate to. So we have chosen this topic and especially the question, why do we want to be in a relationship, or what are the reasons that we want to be in a relationship for our first session? So let's maybe start from a personal example. Ahmed, are you currently in a relationship?
Why are you interested, Melanie?
Well, I would be very interested to get an answer to my question.
Well, currently I'm not in a relationship, no.
Well, and would you like to be in a relationship?
Definitely I would love to be in a relationship.
And why do you think you want to be in a relationship?
That's a good question. Um, well, I've always dreamed of having a life partner where I can share good moments and love and memories, and we just go through the journey of life together and support each other and be there for each other.
Exactly. So this is the type of relationships we're actually all looking for. We want to be with someone and share nice moments and also the difficult moments, feel supported by each other, feel respect and love, and have the feeling that even in the difficult moments or in moments of conflict, we can find a solution within the relationship. And this is actually something we would call a healthy relationship, but unfortunately, it's not so common.
Yeah, unfortunately. But why do you think is that?
Well, there can be several reasons, and the biggest mistake I think that people do is they enter relationships out of needs instead of only entering them because they love someone.
What kind of needs like that, are you talking about?
Well, if you take a normal, very simple example, like someone who would feel lonely or has the feeling that he will end up alone forever, could could enter a relationship without being totally convinced.
Yeah, but I
Just
also don't want to be alone. I mean, it's also one of the motivations that I would like to be in someone because I don't want to be alone. Do you think I can be happy alone?
do you think it's not possible to be happy when you're alone?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, sometimes, of course, I enjoy being by myself, but there's always this thing that comes in your mind that you might end up alone someday. Do you think this is something not normal?
Well, I would not say it's not normal. Regarding our society, we're all kind of manipulated to think that it's important to be in a relationship and that being alone is something strange or not desired. So the problem is that one thing is being alone and the other is feeling lonely. And the fact of being alone doesn't mean you have to feel bad about yourself or about the situation you're in. But because you're interpreting this situation of being alone as something negative, you start feeling lonely. You start to feel this is a problem for you. And then you may search for a relationship just because of that reason.
Okay, so that was one of the reasons. What other reasons you think that might lead me or might lead anyone to start a relationship not in a healthy way?
Well, a very common reason is also that we all have the feeling to be loved, and when we're not able to love ourselves in the way that would be good for us, then we may search this love or this feeling of being loved in a relationship, and we will be dependent then on this love that we get from our partner because it gives us the necessary feeling of being worthy and lovable. And yeah, it's a very common mistake to think that we need someone to complete us or to feel loved, and then enter into this dependence and give our partner the responsibility to fulfill our expectations, and make us feel loved and happy. And this leads to a lot of conflict within a relationship later.
Yeah, especially I would say if the partner himself doesn't know that these things are expected from him, right? And then maybe I'll feel frustrated for no reason.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, in Spain they have this idea that we are half orange, so we would search for the other half orange to become a whole orange. And we can see this is reflected in society, the idea of searching for someone to becoming complete.
Yeah, and I also think that some people are just looking for the status in being in a relationship for the work environment or the society they live in, because when they have this, they look properly good for them.
Exactly. You're totally right. This would be another need that someone's trying to fulfill by entering into a relationship.
So what, I mean, now you're making things complicated, Melanie, because all the reasons I was thinking of having a relationship obviously looks like they are not a good way to start a relationship. So what?
So would you say that you wanted to enter a relationship because of these reasons?
Oh, yeah, I mean, sometimes, yes. I mean, I always have these thoughts in different times of my life. Yeah. So what shall I do now to make sure that I enter a relationship in a healthy way?
What do you think? What could be the best and healthiest way or reason, I would say, to start a relationship?
Well, after this discussion, I would say no need for this relationship. It has to be based on maybe wanting to be in a relationship like that. I mean, to feel love and to feel like you want to be with this person just because you want to be with him or her, not for any reason.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you enter because of getting rid of some fear or to fulfilling some need, you are bringing this lack of security, lack of anything, like the thing that you're lacking into the relationship, and this is causing problems. So instead of entering because of a need, we have to enter from a base of completeness. Means we're not lacking anything that we would search in the partner, or at least being aware of the things we're missing of our needs and not letting this being an influence in our relationship.
Well, okay, wait a minute here because this is a lot of information now. Now, to be able to understand it simply, how can you describe this in terms of oranges?
You liked the example of the oranges, did you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Okay, so if we would say when we feel half orange and we're searching for the other half orange to complete us, if we want to start from a base of feeling complete ourselves and entering as a complete person into the relationship without any need that we try to fulfill by searching for this partner, then what would this be in terms of oranges?
I don't know.
Well, it would mean that we are already a whole orange. And we would enter the relationship as two oranges, like everyone is a whole orange, and everything that we share is based on our own completeness.
Oh my God. So to be able to be in a relationship, I have to be complete from the beginning. Do you think it's even possible to do that?
Well, it sounds very difficult, but maybe it's the way the expression itself is understood. But what it means is that being complete means to know yourself and to know what are the things that make you happy and even know your needs. Because actually, I mean, no one is perfect, and we have to accept this imperfection in some way also. But by accepting and knowing our imperfection and our positive aspects as well as the negative aspects, we become complete because we're fully aware of who we are and what we want. So any time we're going to act from a need, or we would have expectations that we consider that we want our partner to fulfill certain needs, we will be aware of that, and we will not let this have influence on our relationship.
Well, Melanie, that was a very interesting talk, and myself, I learned a lot from it today. Before we go, would you like to tell our audience something?
Well, I think it seems like a very serious topic, and maybe some people would start to worry now about their relationships or about the relationship they're going to start. And I want to emphasize that it's not something to worry about. It's more an opportunity to start a healthy relationship, to be aware of these things and start not be guided so much by our fears or by our needs, but to take conscious decisions and with little steps start to work with ourselves, improve, and that will also improve our relationships.
Well, this brings us to the end of our session today. Melanie, would you like to reveal the topic of our next session?
Well, Ahmed, what do you think should be the next topic?
Well, I think now that I know how to enter a relationship in a good way, I would love to know how to keep it healthy.
Well, exactly. So I think this is what we should talk about. Our next topic will be how can we keep our relationships healthy, or how can we improve our relationships?
Perfect.
Okay, so thank you everybody for listening. We wish you all the best and a happy life. And this was Melanie Kramer.
And Ahmed Elkilany. Thank you all and have a good night.